Hello, welcome to our third and final part of Shake, Rattle, and Roll on 3 Minutes with Jesus. On our last couple of programs, we've covered the facts that all the natural disasters and deadly epidemics are all part of God's shaking plan to wake people up, to call on Him, and be saved before it's too late. We discovered that His judgment, His shaking, begins with His church. People who have lost respect for Him and have become enemies to Him, His church, and His true people. He will also make things rattle and avenge us of those enemies we've been talking about, although we are to forgive them because they don't even have any idea of the drastic consequences they are bringing upon themselves by not fearing and respecting God and becoming enemies to Him and His people. And finally, we learned that God visits us with judgment from time to time to decide how to deal with each of us. If His people will repent, that means change our minds and yield to Him with respect again, He'll roll the stone away that has kept dead things locked in our hearts so that life can come forth in and through us once again. Then we can keep on rolling forward with His great future that He has planned for each of us. However, if His people choose not to repent and be pure and holy, holy means set apart for God's use, then He will take negative actions to remove people one way or another to purify His church. The essence of Psalm 58, 9 through 11, declares that before you can feel the full effect of the enemies toward you, He will take them away as if with a whirlwind, some alive, some deceased. In other words, now you see them, now you don't. The righteous ones will rejoice that God has avenged them and brought justice, so that it can be said, there is a reward for those who live right with God, and be said that truly God does bring judgment while we are on earth. In 2 Samuel chapter 1, 4 through 17, the psalmist David teaches us the mandatory importance of honoring everyone anointed and chosen by God, even if they go astray. We don't rejoice because of the destruction of our enemies, but because God has delivered us from their oppression or persecution. So there we have it, the shake, rattle, and roll agenda of God. I strongly suggest that each one of us examines our hearts and chooses life today and every day, because He comes suddenly to judge, now and later. My prayer for you and all of us is found in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verses 19 and 20. It says, "This day I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Choose life." That's my prayer for you, that both you and your children may live, that you may love the Lord your God, and that you may obey His voice and cling to Him, for He is your life and the length of your days, that you may stay and dwell in the blessing land that God has promised. Shalom.
I've got no need to worry, I've got no room for doubt. No matter what's coming at me, you'll always be the beautiful I sing about. There ain't no limitations to your amazing grace, your amazing grace. It's a beautiful day.